Hi everyone! In this video I'm going to show you all how to make a cute little chibi or sprite character. They're really fun and really fast, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to need a pencil. It can be mechanical pencil or regular pencil. Anything you've got on hand should be just fine. You'll need an eraser. Any kind of eraser is fine. Sharpener is always recommended to keep your pencil nice and sharp. An ink pen like a Sharpie or a marker would be great. I have a couple different ink pens here. And if you don't have any of those, just a black color pencil will do great as well. So you also will need some color pencils or color markers if you'd like to color in your creation at the very end. That is also very highly recommended. So in order to get started, what I'm going to do with my paper, I'm going to orient it so I have it tall ways. Any size will do with this. I'd recommend computer paper, anything you'd like. What I'm doing right now is I'm finding how big I want my character to be. I start with 2 fingers at the top of the paper, add a little tick mark at the top in the very middle, and I'll do the same thing for the bottom. This is how high my character is going to be from the bottom to the top. Once I have my 2 tick marks, I'm going to find my center line. Before I do that though, it's a good idea to hold your pencil in the middle to keep it light. So I'm connecting my top line to my bottom line, just back and forth, gently, with my pencil to make sure that it's like a big capital I. Once I do that, I'm going to find my center line in the very middle. I'll add 1 more tick mark there. So I'm separating the bottom from the top. After I do that, I have 2 equal sections. I'm going to make 2 circles, one for the top and one for the bottom. Starting here at the top with my circle. I'm using my center line as kind of a guide to make sure they're equal and even. They don't have to be exactly perfect. If you're struggling with this, don't worry too much about it. It's just kind of just to give you an approximation of how big your character is going to be. Now what I'm going to do with the top of my top circle here, I'm going to do the center line of the face. Because my character is looking towards the left, I'm going to add a little crescent. We call this a 3/4 view. After I do that, I'm going to find my other center line for where my eyes are going to be in the face. So this will be my side to side. It looks like a happy face. So my character's eyes are going to go. Once I do that, I'm going to define the cheek on the side of the face. Since their head is turned, you'll do a little backwards C over there just to kind of separate where it's going to be. I'm going to add a little roundness to my cheek here. This is the bottom corner of the face. I'm going to do the same for the top, add a little bit more roundness, make the line more solid, and attach it to the top of the head. I'm finding my ear next. I want it to be on my center line going through the eyes. You want it sometimes to be a little bit bigger for a character like this. It's cuter if the ear is a little bigger. You can also add the little extra lines inside of the ear lobe. Once that's done, I'm going to connect the side of my face up to the ear, so it feels more solid that way. Now what I'm going to be doing, we're going to jump down to the body. That's going to be the main part of where our character's features are going to be. It's going to be on that bottom circle. So I'm going to add a line here for the neck, another little line, round it out to connect it. Then you want to add some shoulders. For shoulders, it can be a little tricky. I just like to add little bumps, one on each side. After that, I'm going to find the center of where my waist and hips are separated. Gonna add that line, and now you can just add the body of your character. I like to do some curvy lines. If you do straight, that's cool too, but it makes it a little more exciting in my opinion. So yeah, those are gonna be added. You can start thinking about legs, how your legs are gonna be positioned. You just wanna go for some nice rectangular shapes in here. If you want your character to be wearing a dress later on, this can always change. Another friendly reminder to draw lightly if you can. So yeah, you can add pants. I think my character will be in shorts. So going back to the arms, you can think about how you want your arms to be for a pose. I think something kind of dynamic and interesting to start with is having one arm tucked in on the side, like a hand on the hip, and then another one out here, kind of waving or saying hello, keeping things friendly and nice. Add your fingers like a glove. After that, we're going to jump back up to the face. For the eyes, they're kind of tricky. Remember, since it's 3/4, one eye needs to be slightly bigger than the other. So I'm going to do 2 circles. one on each side of my center line, and make sure they're kind of cut in half also by our eye line. What I'm doing now is I'm adding the eyelashes on the top of my character. For this, it doesn't really matter if the gender, if they're wearing makeup or not. You should have dark eyelashes. I call them caterpillars. Next, I'm going to work on the iris. It's an oval inside, and you can see where my character's looking towards the right now. Next, you want to add a highlight to the very top too. Oh yeah, and you can add makeup if your character's wearing makeup, which is always fun. I do a little cat eye sometimes. Yeah, so highlight next. In the top right hand corner, you're going to do one on each side. It's kind of overlapping the pupil, which is a little oval on the inside of the eye. Wonderful. So now that you have your eyes, you can add a little eyelid on top, and then eyebrow going side to side on the top. You can depend, just kind of depends what kind of shape you want to do. If you want to do rectangles, triangles, it's up to you. Next, the nose. Nose is optional, but I like to have a nose so they can smell things. Now the next part, what I'm going to do is the mouth. This part's a little tricky. It looks like a frown at first, but I'm going to turn it into a smile. So you start with a big wide line connected at the bottom. You can kind of see now it looks like they're smiling. I'll add a bar on the top for teeth, going from one end all the way to the other, and then the tongue is kind of sitting in the back there, just like so. The tricky part is going to be doing the hair. I know everyone likes to do their hair differently. For this character, I'm going to give her kind of spiky, straight hair that's pulled back in a ponytail. So I'll start with the bangs. For these shapes, think about shark or dolphin fins that have like a point at the bottom, and there's my head kind of poking in. It's going to be poking in and out of this video. Sorry about that, by the way. Yeah, my hair's really curly. So you can add a ponytail going down the back. Just depends on what kind of hairstyle you want your character to have. I made the hair a little bit bigger on top of the head, as you saw. Now it looks like I'm adding clothes to my character. You can kind of accessorize what kind of things you'd like your character to wear. I was picturing this being a sporty type person who is kind of in a tank top and shorts and wearing roller skates. So I'm adding those now. It's gonna be probably a Rebel Town roller skater who's not playing because they're not wearing all of their gear like helmets and elbow pads and knee pads. So they're just probably doing a fun rink skate today. So once you have your character, you're gonna start with the inking. It can be with color pencil, like I said before, like I'm doing. I'm using a black color pencil, or you can use an actual ink pen. So for this part, it's really important to only highlight the places that you want to keep. This stage, I kind of call it the trace and erase. So you're tracing it with, a dark material, and then you'll be erasing all of your pencil marks, almost like no one is ever gonna guess that you drew it with pencil first. So go ahead, ink all of the things you want to keep. Obviously, don't color in the things that you had from your underdrawing where it was kind of like our center lines and tick marks, things like that. This is only the good stuff right here. So I'm going to work on this for a while. Alright, at this point I'm done tracing. It's time to start erasing. I've got my eraser handy. I'm going to go around, erase all of my pencil marks and smudges. Also, if you're like me, be careful with your hand. It might have a lot of graphite on it that might have smudged on the side of the paper. So take care in erasing all of that extra stuff over there. All right, my last piece of advice for everyone when it comes down to coloring is start with the eyes. And when you do your eye colors in the iris, that middle part, I recommend starting with two different shades of the same hue. So if you have light green eyes, then have dark green at the top. Go about halfway and stop, and then you'll use that light green on the bottom. Same with purples, dark purple for the top, light purple for the bottom. I say this because it makes the eyes pop out a little bit more and makes them a little more exciting. So experiment, see what you like on your character, and just go crazy, have fun coloring in. This is the best part. And there you have it, folks. Let me know how that worked out for everyone. If you have any questions or if you want to share your final product, I would love to see it. Go ahead and send me a message, and I hope y'all are having a good time, staying safe and healthy. Hope to see you all soon. All right, thanks. Bye.